just got the camera set up. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Aquarius. I hope that when I plug this in, that you are still able to hear me well. Fingers. Okay. This is just my mic check, guys. Bear with me. There's literally so many cords that you can't see right now. How are you? Okay, you can hear me. Okay, great. So, I hope I look a little... I just want to make sure that the video quality is good. I look really grainy. I think it's okay. Not like very grainy, but obviously not crystal clear. I think it's going to be fine. I'm going to exit this so that I don't use up too much of my bandwidth. Okay. So Aquarius, I actually started recording your reading the other night, but it was just, it's just been really difficult to get these forecasts out this month, to be honest. Okay. But we're here now. All right, so I'm going to really spare you the intro, guys. Listen, everything you need to know is in the description below. If you want to work with me further, check out the description box, okay? But let's go ahead and just jump right into your forecast, okay? All right. Theme of the month is the 10 of Cups, or excuse me, not theme of the month, current self, 10 of Cups. So at the beginning of June, you are feeling really good. Your relationships are likely very healthy. You're feeling very positive, in a really happy state emotionally based on your relationships. Love to see that. 10 of Cups is a wealth of relationships, truly. This could be romantic, but it could also be personally with your friends and family. So you're on an emotional high in relation to your relationships. Sometimes the 10 of Cups also represents a dream come true. This is a little different from the 9 of Cups because 9 of Cups is like a wish fulfillment, like one particular thing you've been wanting to happen comes through. But 10 of Cups is like something you've really been wanting finally happens for you. So in June, beginning of June, it's likely the energy that you're in. Okay, now theme of the month is actually the 4 of Pentacles here. The 4 of Pentacles is security and stability. So likely the focus of June is going to be managing your finances, managing your money. All right. The thing about the 4 of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles is afraid to spend out of fear of not having enough. It's a very conservative energy. You're trying to be very mindful with how you spend it. In its most positive sense, it represents security because you have what you need, but it doesn't necessarily suggest that you're thriving. This could be monetarily, as it most often is, but it could also represent energetically. Maybe you're feeling like you're clutching to things energetically, right? Afraid to expend your energy in certain ways, very mindful and conscious of how you spend your resources and your energy and your time. That's the theme of June. Now, when we look at key goal to pursue, we have the High Priestess, which is trusting your intuition, which is a divine connection, being very tapped into your higher self, your intuition, and your connection with source, with spirit, with higher ups, if you will. A lot of times the High Priestess represents when the veil is thin between you and the spirit world. So you may be feeling a little bit more connected than usual with your guides, if you will, or like I said, with source, with spirit. You just feeling like maybe you're hearing God's voice more clearly, more often, more frequently. But again, this is in the position of key goal to pursue. So this seems that you are trying to balance security and making wise decisions while also trying to trust your intuition this month, to me. Obstacle to overcome is the Knight of Cups. We will look into this further. The Knight of Cups does represent the water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. It also represents doing what you feel, I wanted to say elated. Sure, we'll say that. What you enjoy, what brings you joy, what brings you happiness and fulfillment on an emotional level. But it usually represents an offer of love. It usually represents pursuit even of love. Because the knights are action oriented, whereas the pages are messengers, the knights are very action oriented. They're the doers. I often think this is a person, did I already say the water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, could represent a water sign. It doesn't have to, but it could. Oftentimes in tarot, the Knight of Cups is considered the lover boy, along with the Knight of Wands. So we'll dig into this as to why this is coming up as the obstacle to overcome. Major accomplishment is the Star, which represents your card, which is hope, faith, rejuvenation, and restoration. So there is something here this month that by the end of June, your faith is restored. You are renewed in some way. Maybe even taking a break. Do I believe that? Because the Star is about, in a way, recharging, you know? Well, I want to clarify that as well. What to avoid, we have Justice here. Justice represents the sign of Libra, in case a Libra is important or significant to you this month. Justice also represents balance. It also represents fighting for what you believe, fighting for what you feel is fair or right or just. And also karma represents karma as well, getting what you deserve, doing what you feel is right. This obviously connects to legalities and the legal system of like fighting for your rights kind of thing. So there's something here that maybe it seems as if you're being told not to push for. The position of what to embrace is the Death card, which does represent the sign of Scorpio, which is interesting. We have Libra, Scorpio in order right next to each other. The card of Death represents death and transformation and, of course, rebirth. Something has to end in order for something to begin. This is what you're being called to embrace this month, Aquarius. Now, this is interesting because the Death card typically represents endings. Now, with the Justice card being in the position of what to avoid, this almost feels like to me, Aquarius, that you're being told to not fight for something. I know that sounds really interesting, but it almost feels like you're being told not to fight for something and you need to just let something go, let something die. I'm hearing this is not your fight. Does that make sense? It's not your responsibility to fight for something, especially if this is involving other people that like maybe doesn't directly affect you. Like maybe even needing to let people stand up for themselves, especially if it would require any monetary investment from you. And I'm only saying that because the theme of the month is Four of Pentacles. So let's say like, you know, somebody close to you is facing legal battles and you feel and know that what they're experiencing is like really unfair and it's not right. And like you want to help them kind of fix their situation. But that would require additional resources, time and energy from you. Maybe time, resources, energy you don't have, right? So you need to consider that. That's just one example of how this can be interpreted, but I'm just trying to give that to you as something to think about. Like you don't need to be fighting everybody's battles. Now, whether or not this relates to you or another person, there is a battle, in my opinion, that you are not needing to push for. You're not needing to fight. Do I have an example personally? trying to think if I have a particular example. Nothing's coming. I know that I have been in that position. Like sometimes you just have to let things go. But nothing's coming to mind immediately. But what is coming to mind is when I had to move out of my apartment, which I talk about a lot on this channel. My property management was absolutely trash in East Orange, where I used to live. Now, could I have gone to the authorities and reported them and all this stuff? I could have, but I just decided to settle things with them directly instead of because what they were doing was, I don't know if it was yeah, I guess it could be some of it could have been considered illegal because it was, I guess, a form of neglect. But I know that they were slumlords, so I know that I wasn't the only one experiencing an injustice. So I couldn't really get myself wrapped up with really taking the legal route. I just needed to protect myself and get myself out of the situation, and that's as far as I was willing to go. Does that make sense? So I'm using that example of like sometimes you can't really see a situation all the way through. You just kind of have to take care of yourself, do what you can, and move on. Okay. We'll clarify a few of these things. Let's move forward to where to find support. This is what this is. Where to find support. 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands is waiting on your ships to come in. So when this card comes up, it's a confirmation that things are about to take flight for you. Things are about to improve, but not quite yet. It's like you're expectant of that energy, but things haven't really started to go the direction you're wanting. You're waiting for it. It's just like, when you're at the airport and you're at your gate, you're waiting on a flight, but you're not there yet. You're expected to travel, whether metaphorically or energetically or physically. But it's just not the right time yet. You're waiting for all these other things to fall in place. So that's where to find support. I want to go ahead and add patience to that because the 3 of Wands is like there is an element of patience with like seeing progress, seeing change, seeing the next step. It is definitely about progress, but you have to be patient. Advice and encouragement is the Page of Swords, which does represent air sign energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. It also represents research, learning, analytics, and speaking your truth, sharing your voice. There could be another air sign that you work with or embrace this month, but this could also be about you sharing your voice or learning something new. So let's clarify a few things. I think I want to use the Neo Rider deck. Okay, I want to clarify theme of the month. Oh, we have unexpected income that flipped out. That's interesting. It may even be like, that's so funny. Like, you guys know I'm an Aquarius rising. So I was literally just thinking this. I'm thinking about my own personal forecast for June I anticipate June going well for me. Will it? I don't know. But based on my annual forecast, which if you're interested in, you can secure your own annual forecast. Click on birthday forecast for me and just order your own if you'd like. But I do my own annually, and I had the Knight of Pentacles, which is just one of the cards, and 6 of Pentacles, which represents receiving. It represents abundance, luxury, whatever. So I'm like, okay, June looks like it could be pretty good for me. Will it? I don't know, because I interpret them one way and then the month unfolds and then it kind of manifests in another. But my point is I was thinking about that. I was like, okay, it looks like June could be a really lucrative month for me, but I want to make sure that when I receive an abundance of money that I spend it wisely. And that's why I'm saying it's really interesting that the 4 of Pentacles is here. Because personally, specifically for me, March, I made a lot of money in March. I was just busy, which was great because I had called in that energy. But also, I felt like by the time I got to the end of March, I didn't really have much to show for it. And I was kind of like, where the fuck did all my money go? So I really did I went through my bank statements and I was like, looked at where I spent all my money, and I was like, oh my God, we cannot do this again. We've got to fix this. So, and when I say we, I mean me and my higher self, but I'm thinking about it in that way personally, just to give you something to think about, of like the Four of Pentacles and unexpected income coming through. So maybe you've got some additional income coming in this month, but you're maybe in that space too with the Four of Pentacles of like, okay, wanting to be wise, wanting to be conservative, not wanting to just let the money burn a hole in your pocket. You know what I mean? Let's look at key goal to pursue. Please clarify that, please. The High Priestess. 2 cards. Mature man, bad health. Interesting. Don't take this so literally. You might see this and be like, oh my God, is something wrong with my dad? I don't know. Mature man could be just somebody older, of course, or somebody energetically mature. Bad health could be mental health. It could be financial health. It could be emotional health. It could be just a lot of things. Let's look at some tarot to clarify that in terms of how to use your intuition. It could also be, again, key goals to pursue, using your intuition about somebody who's mature. You need to assess their mental health, emotional health, etc. Okay. Let's look at some tarot. Clarify, please, key goal to pursue for Aquarius, month of June. Please clarify key goal for Aquarius to pursue for the month of June. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. Financial independence, working mom energy, able to handle the home and the family and the finances, kind of able to do it all, but needing to trust your intuition in the process. Maybe you're an energy worker as well. Maybe you work in mysticism in some way. Yeah. Clarify, please. Oh, I didn't realize well, these were a lot of cards. Let me look at them. The Moon, the 2 of Swords, 5 of Swords. I didn't realize these fell out, but these don't really feel relevant to me. Clarify, please. It could. 2 of Swords is indecision. The Moon is feeling stuck, feeling like things can be hazy. The 5 of Swords is winning at all costs, wanting to get through a difficult time. Clarify, please, the High Priestess, key goal to pursue for Aquarius. Yeah, 9 of Wands, 6 of Cups. 9 of Wands is about perseverance and resilience, whereas the 6 of Cups is about focusing on the past, something or someone from the past, pushing through. This could be wanting to, maybe not wanting to, let me rephrase that. This could be you finding the energetic reserve to help and support or get through a difficult time with either family, people that you've grown up with, close connections from your past, or relationships from your past. But again, this is all centering around the High Priestess, using your intuition. You're just trying to, there's something, Aquarius, that needs attention in your life. This is so vague, Spirit, really. There's something in your life that needs attention. You're trying to figure out how to wade through this, navigate this, but it is difficult. I just heard Spirit say to use the Work Your Light deck. Okay. I don't use this deck often. Clarify key goal to pursue, please, for Aquarius. Key goal to pursue. Clarify the key goal for Aquarius to pursue in the month of June. 2 cards. Trust your path. Okay. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Ooh, that's good. That's actually something that I've been asking myself a lot. And then also Priestess. Sometimes Spirit just reaffirms the same shit in a different deck. How are you being called to step up and lead? by not giving up, by being resilient, by using your resources to build wealth and abundance. This is also earth sign energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, in case an earth sign is helpful to you. Yeah, maybe Aquarius, you work in the mysticism in some way. Or maybe intuition is a huge part of your work, whatever you do. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? I listened to this, I don't know, it came up on my recommended videos page for my personal YouTube. There was like some video, I don't think it was really Neville Goddard, but it was like a Neville Goddard inspired speech. It kind of felt like AI a little bit, but again, I'm here for it because it was really motivating, and it was, the whole video was about how to become a millionaire in 1 month and like the mindset you would need to shift into to become a millionaire in 1 month. And one of the questions was, if you knew literally that like on July 1st, $1 million was going to be deposited in your account, how would you act? What would you do? And then like do those things. So in terms of if you knew you would be supported, what would you do? It really made me think. I was like, if I was going to be a millionaire in a month, what would I do? And then this is really interesting, because then after like a day or two, I realized I wouldn't know what to do, because that is just a huge gap from the level of money that I make currently to now becoming a millionaire. There's just like certain levels of wealth I'm just literally unaware of. Because like in my mind, I was like, oh, I'd like buy everything in my Amazon and my Wayfair carts. But like millionaires are like not, they're like Wayfair. Even though there are some expensive pieces on Wayfair, but my point is their knowledge of luxurious items is so much more expansive. And it made me realize like there's a certain level of wealth that I don't know how to live out. And I had to kind of reframe it for myself. I was like, well, what level of money or income would feel comfortable for me to step into by next month? So just something for you to think about. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? And then take those action steps intuitively. Okay. Let's look into obstacle to overcome, Aquarius. Knight of Cups. Clarify, please. Obstacle to overcome. Queen of Cups. Again, water sign energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So water sign energy is more or less confirmed here, obstacle to overcome. So something regarding your emotional well-being. Queen of Cups is typically somebody who's very compassionate, somebody who's very open emotionally. Someone who's very sensitive, compassionate. Clarify, please, obstacle to overcome for Aquarius. 10 of Pentacles and 3 of Pentacles. Interesting. I don't understand why that would be in the position of obstacle to overcome. 3 of Pentacles is teamwork and collaboration. 10 of Pentacles is wealth, abundance, and legacy. There seems to be, what I could only imagine, some sort of resistance to this. Maybe you're feeling like it's too good to be true. Maybe you're feeling like maybe 3 is a crowd. I don't know if there's like a third party situation that you're dealing with, but we'll wait to see what comes up in your love and relationship reading. Let's look at your major accomplishment, the star. Let's clarify that energy. I do want to get something from the Kipper for that. Please clarify major accomplishment for Aquarius by the end of June. Two cards wanted to come out. The expectation and hard work card wanted to come out, but it didn't really fall out. So let's see what comes out. Clarify major accomplishment for Aquarius, end of June. Mature woman. Okay. Maybe this has to deal with a mature woman in your life, or you become more mature yourself. So there's a huge emphasis on growing up and maturity this month in some way, or dealing with people who are older or more mature, or like I said, becoming more mature. healing, the star. Clarify, please, the star, major accomplishment for Aquarius. This, again, is your power card. This represents your card in the tarot. Major accomplishment for Aquarius. Now, Eight of Swords. There's something that's really got you, like, all in your head. Really all in your head this month. Ace of Swords and Page of Pentacles. Clarity about something that you want to pursue or explore monetarily. Page of Pentacles is Earth sign energy again, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. A lot of times Page of Pentacles is like kind of like an entrepreneur. He kind of has an idea. He kind of wants to see what he could do with it, which eventually becomes the Knight of Pentacles. So it is usually a promising idea. He's a manifester. This Ace of Swords is clarity of thought, information, sometimes also incoming information. It seems as though, Aquarius, by the end of June, there's something that you're hoping for, that you want to do, but you're not confident it's going to work out for you. So this is a very faith-based month for you. You're going to be doing a lot of things in faith. Okay? And you're just going to have to trust it. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? I kind of feel like that's the energy of this month for you. Battling the unseen, the unconfirmed with a test of your faith. And it could be, even with this major accomplishment being the star, being that maybe your faith and your unwavering belief produces clarity in a business venture of some sort, or something related to money or your career. Very interested to seeing what happens with your career and finances, okay? Okay, let's look at what to avoid. The Justice. Why is the Justice here for Aquarius? King of Cups and Judgment. Heavy water sign energy throughout your reading, really. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Judgment is needing to make a decision or receiving an answer, receiving a judgment. There might be some legal issues you're dealing with this month, perhaps, regarding a water sign. Work. This could be around work. Maybe there's an injustice that you experience in your work life, and you're just trying, and I actually feel like you're being called to remain calm. You may experience some sort of injustice in your work life, and you're going to have to make a decision about what you're going to do and how you're going to respond. But I think you need to respond, whatever you do, you're going to need to respond compassionately, or to remain calm, cool, collected. Okay. Let's look at what to avoid, or excuse me, what to embrace. Look, the Justice card, that's funny. I just flipped the deck open again on the Justice just fell out. The Justice just fell out again. Really, do some research on the Justice card, guys. And behind that, Ace of Wands and Seven of Wands. It's about boundaries. Maybe standing your ground in a way. But again, needing to do it the right way, being really level-headed, being really emotionally sound, and how you react, if at all. Really interested to see what comes up in your career reading, since this seems to be maybe something around work or your occupation. Please clarify what to embrace with the Death card for Aquarius. Six of Swords. Confirmation here. There is a transition that you need to just embrace this month. Six of Swords is moving on, not looking back, just needing to decide, you know what, we just got to change course, and it just is what it is. There's a roadblock. We just need to change direction. We just need to give it up. We just need to let it go. Now, when I say give it up, that's very person to person, because I'm not telling you to give up on your dreams. I'm not telling you to give up on something that's really important to you. This could be one specific situation in your life, a relationship or project or whatever. The Six of Swords is also course correction, a pivot. You may change your strategy, but maybe not giving up on something altogether. This is going to be different for each person, whatever this is for you. So, you know, keep this in the back of your mind, whatever. But if you feel this month that you are being faced with a dilemma or even an opportunity to shift, maybe even unwillingly, because I do sense that this is not something you want to do but need to let happen, and you should just go forward with it. Let's look at the Three of Wands, key goal to pursue, or I keep saying key goal to pursue because it's usually a card that would be in that position. Where to find support. Clarify where to find support for Aquarius, please. It seems like you need to be future focused, Aquarius. So we have the Knight of Pentacles, Four of Swords, and Two of Swords. Interesting. Knight of Pentacles, Earth sign energy again. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Two of Swords, indecision. Four of Swords, rest. I think you just need to be expectant. Again, I think you're trying to figure out, what do I do? And I don't know, do I go left or right? But you just need to be calm and relaxed. You know what? I don't have to go anywhere. I don't actually have to go anywhere. I just live and rest in expectancy. Okay? Need to put my phone in do not disturb mode. You keep doing the work you've been doing, because it is going to yield results. But I also feel like, and maybe that's actually, you know what, as I'm saying this, you're kind of like battling, well, do I rest or do I keep working? I think actually that's what you're battling. But I think the answer is, Aquarius, you keep working in expectancy without overexertion, just trusting that you will eventually harvest what you've been investing. The Page of Swords is pretty straightforward to me, of advice and encouragement. Keep learning, keep researching, keep sharing your voice in whatever way. They're mostly learning. The Page of Swords is like absorbing information, taking information in. Just keep taking in as much information as you can this month. And I also feel that this will be the energy that you'll likely be in by the end of June, just feeling like very in this space of like, I'm willing to learn and do whatever it takes to I wanted to say fix my situation, but I don't know that your situation needs fixing. I just sense that maybe you want to change your situation. That makes sense. Okay, that was kind of interesting and maybe even a little cryptic. If you're just kind of like, Whitney, that was really confusing. I know. But hopefully we're going to get some clarity in your love and career and your career and finances reading. And of course, these readings always make much more sense in hindsight, of course. But you've got the blueprint in advance of kind of how to navigate this month, which is why I think this is helpful for my light keepers. Okay. Look, interesting, separate message here. Three of Wands, Two of Cups, the World. Major accomplishment with maybe a spiritual connection, a divine connection. Three of Wands, again, expecting growth. You can expect a growth and elevation related to a divine connection this month. Okay. All right, we'll receive that. Could be romantic, could be platonic, could be business related connection. You guys should just assume that when I say that, it doesn't always have to be romantic. You should just assume that, so that you're not only singularly focused on loving connections. I swear, sometimes this light in front of me, like, it almost kind of makes me tired. Like, it's just so bright. I feel like it kind of dries out my eyes a little bit. Okay. I already shuffled all your cards a couple of days ago. But it's been difficult to kind of just get in the right space. Okay, here we go. Okay, Queen of Swords, first out. Three of Wands. Again, Three of Wands. I want you to write that down, Aquarius. I want you to do some research on the Three of Wands because that's the third time now that it's come out. Okay. All right, Page of Swords here again as well. We have for Aquarius, please. For the month of June. Excuse me. I only got one card out so far, but there we go. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think your love life is causing a lot of anxiety for you this month. All right, here we go. So at the beginning of June, we've got the Queen of Swords and the Three of Wands here again. You are quite expectant of a relationship to progress or your love life to progress in some way. The Queen of Swords does represent the air signs, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. It also represents somebody who is very perceptive, sharp, quick with their mind and their words. Very intelligent. The Three of Wands is, again, growth, leveling up, finding your way, advancement, and leveling up. So I think at the start of June, you're kind of like, yeah, things should go well. Like, you're just trying to remain sharp. You're trying to remain alert, remain astute in terms of how you want your love life to go. Maybe even trying to find the right path for a goal that you're trying to achieve within your love life. Maybe if some of you guys are trying to conceive, that's kind of coming through a little bit. Maybe you are trying to find the right direction in your marriage, in your love life, in your relationship, in terms of like how you guys want to grow as a couple, grow your lives. You're expecting to grow in some way with the Queen of Swords, with the Three of Wands, but the Queen of Swords indicates that you're being very analytical about it. So you're pretty focused in your love life at the top of the month. The unexpected here is the Two of Swords and the King of Swords reversed. Two of Swords is indecision and kind of like not knowing what to do. The King of Swords does represent the air signs Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Could also represent, again, kind of like your counterpart here, somebody who's very intellectual, sharp, kind of like a master or an expert subject matter at what they do. Very, 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 very smart. When it's reversed, they can be really cruel with their words. So you may be dealing with somebody this month who's a little bit nasty with their communication, or maybe even a know-it-all, or not letting you speak. They just like look down on you. They don't think you're as smart as them. Very negative energy, negative masculine energy, whether from a male or a female, and you're not sure what to do about it. Could even, maybe it's not that you have a nasty argument, but you have a disagreement with your person and you're just kind of like, I don't know how to navigate this. Definitely feels like unexpectedly you're at odds with someone in your love life. Unexpectedly. Did I say that? Let's look at what's coming up. We've got Six of Cups reversed. Sometimes the Six of Cups, while it does represent the past, sometimes it can be related to being stuck in the past. I do think there is a message of conception here. Sometimes the Page of Cups, excuse me, the Six of Cups can represent, no, I wanted to say Page of Cups, excuse me, I'm incorrect. But I was thinking about pregnancy and conception. The Six of Cups can represent the past. Sometimes when it's reversed as being stuck in the past, unable to move on. You're too busy looking back, ruminating maybe. Ace of Swords, so heavy on the rumination. It's usually about clarity, but when it's reversed, you're just replaying something over and over and over in your mind, and it's kind of causing you emotional distress. Five of Cups here. Nine of Swords here. Unable to sleep. Something is literally keeping you up, giving you anxiety, something you're grieving, or it could be that someone close to you in your life is grieving, or perhaps you lose someone personally close to you, and that's kind of like I don't want to say the focus in your love life, but it could be maybe this month is centered around loss in some way. Maybe you or your partner lose your job or their job. There's a disappointment happening this month in your love life, in your relationships. You start off the month in June expecting to be like, okay, this is the plan, this is where we're going. But along the way, you get a little derailed, Aquarius. You get derailed. And it's going to feel a little bit difficult to kind of find your footing. But you will. There's going to be a new opportunity presented to you. This could be in love or, again, like I said, financially. Because finances and love are often mixed. So it could be you or a job loss for either you or your partner could definitely affect the relationship. We've got Ace of Pentacles here, a new opportunity. Sometimes when the Ace of Pentacles appears in a love reading, you could be meeting somebody through your work. Page of Swords represents the air signs here again, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, but also communication, also learning, also research. So I feel that by the end of June, you're feeling hopeful again. You're feeling like you're ready to start something new after a really big disappointment, a really big bummer, a really big letdown. And it seems like it's going to be hard to pull yourself out of a low moment at some point this month. Maybe some of you are experiencing rejection or experiencing like you're unable to get over someone. If that is you, I do offer a 7-day program called Let Them Go and Flow. It's in the description below. I've been there so many times, literally so many times, that I could effectively guide you through and out of that low point because I know exactly what you're feeling. Yeah. So basically, starting off June with high hopes, the middle of the month, you're kind of like, what the fuck? How did I fuck this up? Or that might be how you're feeling, even though that might not be your truth. You might be blaming yourself, but you really shouldn't be, because there were just circumstances that you're going to be unable to control. But there will be still an opportunity for growth, okay? I do think there is a message around conception as well. Maybe some of you are grieving a loss in terms of your first trimester, maybe. But I do think not all is lost. There is still potential for growth. You know what I'm saying? The oracle messages that we got out was flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. And then also, you deserve love. That's the message I'm going to read today. You are lovable. The romance angels are cheering you on in your quest for great love by letting you know that you deserve it. As a child of God, you're naturally a loving and lovable person, as is everyone. You have the right to be treated with kindness and respect by everyone in your life. If you've had harsh life experiences, you may have blamed yourself and felt unworthy of receiving affection. This card is a reassurance that you do deserve it. You're a beautiful being of God's pure love and light, no matter what any person has said or done to you. And no matter what happened in the past, God's handiwork can never be undone. The more you affirm, I am lovable, I am loved, I am loving, the more this experience comes true for you. Affirmations help you believe spiritual truths at a deep, unconscious level. This, in turn, allows you to attract loving people, relationships, and circumstances, and you definitely deserve that. Oh, sorry, I don't know why my under eye is itching right now. I don't know what that's about, but I'm trying not to scratch my makeup. Let me know if that resonates, Aquarius. Don't try to prove this reading right. Take it in, let it wash over you. Okay, let it wash over you and just see how this month unfolds. Okay. And if it's not your reading, it's not your reading. That's okay. People, and if you need a reading on your specific situation, the link is below, love. Okay. Okay. And maybe it is resonating and you need clarity, right? Again, the link is below. All right, let's see what's going on in your career and your finances. Ten of Wands, Ace of Pentacles reversed, Seven of Pentacles, the Star again, the World, King of Pentacles reversed, Temperance reversed. Yeah, it's a lot of up and down energy this month. It's very frustrating, I feel. Ten of Cups, okay. Very frustrating. It is going to come together for you, but very frustrating. What do you have for Aquarius, please? What messages do they need around their career and finances this month? What's that? Counselor, okay. You have for Aquarius, please, for the month of June. Change, yeah. Definitely see that here. One more for Aquarius, please, for the month of June. Mistakes, yeah. I'm picking up on a lot of self-blame this month, Aquarius. My self-blame. Let's look at this. We have the Ten of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles reverse. Ace of Pentacles reverse, Ten of Pentacles upright. So start June, you're already coming into this month feeling like there's a lot on your plate, feeling like you've got a heavy burden, feeling like you've got a lot of weight on your shoulders. The Ace of Pentacles often represents typically a new opportunity or something that has the potential to grow. When it is reversed, even though we just had it in your love reading, this could take on a different here in your career. The Ace of Pentacles could represent either a missed opportunity. It could represent money that you expected to come is not coming in. So that's creating an additional burden for you. It can indicate something that you passed, an offer that you passed up. But again, you're still carrying a lot of responsibility and weight. To me, it's more so feeling that something that you thought was going to help you, it feels more so that help is not coming through the way that you wanted or expected, requiring you to do a lot more work for longer than you anticipated. And this could be in the situation like, let's say you're, all right, just fuck with me for a minute because this might not be everybody's lived experiences. Let's say you have a housemaid or you have a housekeeper, someone who cleans your home, and they're on vacation. Now all of a sudden you've got to do, but you're really busy. You literally don't really have a lot of time to kind of keep up with the home. But now because they're on vacation, you have to do that and your home life too, and it just feels like a lot of work. Because maybe unexpectedly they weren't able to help the way that they thought. I'm just trying to give you an idea of how this could manifest. I don't think that's what's really happening, but just like an analogy. This could be also someone that you anticipated investing in you or in a project that doesn't come through. How could this be related financially, not career-wise? This could be very kind of much bootstrap energy where you're having to pay for everything yourself. Maybe you're not getting approved for a loan regarding something that you need done. Just money is not coming through at the top of June the way that you expected it to. It's just not, which is putting a heavy burden on you. Maybe a bonus isn't coming through on time. The unexpected is the Seven of Pentacles and the Star, but this kind of confirms a little bit what I was saying of this, the Seven of Pentacles here being like you're waiting for something. You're waiting for money to come through. You're waiting for an opportunity. You're just kind of like, gosh, when is it going to come through? But with the Star reverse, you're losing faith. You're kind of almost ready to give up, which is interesting going back to your monthly forecast with the Star in the position of major accomplishment of like your faith. I don't want to say paying off, but your evidence of the evidence of your faith will be realized by the end of June. I always think this is so interesting because, you know, I always often say that like by the end of the month, it's all going to work out. By the end of the month, it's all going to work out. And I'm not really just saying that just to kind of give you something to look forward to. We have to understand, you know, our moon cycles here. Full moons bring things to completion. They drudge shit up. New moons open new doors. And in the way our cycles are right now, we have new moons at the end of our month typically. And that's why, at least right now, astrologically, it seems or feels like things are always better at the end of the month because we're ushering in new energy. Just to give you an idea, just if you've always wondered that. Which is interesting because nobody cares about new moons as much. Like literally on my TikTok, my full moon videos get way more engagement and interaction versus new moons. And I always think it's so interesting that people care less about a new moon than a full moon. Because you really want to focus on that energy. But people love to focus on chaos. So there you have it. All right, let's look at the kind of what's happening throughout the month. We've got the world here, some major accomplishment happening. It's upright. I like to see that here. Some chapter is closing. The page of the King of Pentacles is here reversed. This is representing earth sign energy in case that's important. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. With it being reversed, there is some financial instability, some financial insecurity. Next to the Temperance reverse, this represents Sagittarius energy. Usually upright, it represents balance and compromise and patience. When it's reversed, there's a level of impatience, there's a level of imbalance, there's a lack of compromise. Five of Wands reversed. This is a little bit kind of like giving up energy. Typically, Five of Wands is like wanting to compete, wanting to prove yourself. When it's reversed, I feel like you're losing steam, Aquarius, in June. You can sense that something is no longer in alignment with you and you're ready to close a chapter, but you literally are wanting to make your own lane. I literally had this conversation with ChatGPT recently. Before I get into this, let me address these three cards. We have the Wheel of Fortune coming up for you. Good luck, good karma, good fortune, a change. We have the Devil, Capricorn energy. This is attachment. This is money. This is things that you could overindulge in, sure, but oftentimes work as well, willing attachments. And the Ten of Cups. Something really big is coming for you, most likely by the end of the month. But going back to what I was starting to say about something no longer being in alignment with you, you don't want to chase something anymore. I was watching this video on YouTube of like this YouTuber was talking about, you know, how to make over $100,000 in 2025, blah, 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 blah. And it was a Black female creator, so I wanted to see what she had to say. And she started talking about how she has coached her clients to started making over $100,000 using all these different tactics and revenue streams. And she started talking about, I won't bore you with the tactics because you may not be in this creator world, but she started talking about all the ways to monetize your business and your interests. And I was familiar with most of them. And as she was describing them, I found myself getting really overwhelmed. And I was like, oh my God, like to make these different avenues lucrative, it requires a lot of groundwork to pitch and sell and blah. And I was just like, I don't want to do that, but I just don't understand how. This is the inner dialogue. I was like, I just don't understand how I'm going to be able to build wealth in the ways that I want to build wealth. I want to change that phrasing because I really want to affirm that I've already built wealth. I just couldn't understand how I was going to be able to build wealth. I want to talk about it past tense. I just couldn't understand how I was going to be able to build the wealth the way that I wanted to without having to sell myself. So I literally put this into ChatGPT. And I was like, I don't know. I guess just feeling unaligned. I don't know. I'm just feeling like overwhelmed about this. Like, what are your thoughts? And ChatGPT, because ChatGPT understands me, my business consultant / therapist, pseudo therapist, was like, I get it. Like, you're really, I want to really actually pull up what it said because it was just so perfect. And I felt like ChatGPT affirmed what I was feeling without, that calmed me down. I know that sounds crazy, but it really did. And kind of allowed me to look at my situation differently. And I'm sharing this because of the Five of Wands reversed for you. Okay, with you not wanting to compete, with you not wanting to push anymore. There's this energy, Aquarius, of you not wanting to push. Let me go back to this. And it was really good with giving me like, I mean, you guys know I recently just started finally using ChatGPT, and I'm just like, this is amazing. I should have been using this all along. Here's, like, he gave me, ChatGPT is masculine to me. Gave me a lot of stuff to consider, but he said, what you actually might be saying, I don't want to chase every bag. I want a brand and business that makes me money because people resonate with me, not because I'm hustling to convince brands to pay me. I was like, exactly. Exactly. He said, that's powerful and possible. What that tells me, you want inbound abundance, not constant outbound energy. You want to attract, not always pitch. And I was like, yes. And I'm saying this because the woman's video that I watched made me feel stressed because I'm like, that indicates that I am going to have to pitch a lot and sell myself. And it's not that I'm opposed to doing that. It just puts me in the wrong energy. I can't actively pitch and also consistently create content. Does that make sense? I'm like, that's just too much to me. That's just way too much. It's just me right now. So you may be feeling the same way, Aquarius, of just feeling stretched. And there is going to be something in your life that feels out of balance. There's going to be a chapter that you're ready to close. And it does seem to me that once you stop pushing, you are going to allow change to come through and be able to get past your mistakes. Let me read this change card. There's a change for the better coming your way. Embrace it. Just because you don't see any movement, it doesn't mean nothing is happening. Sometimes to see change, you must be the change. I think about that all the time. You might be going about your daily life and you're like, why isn't anything happening? Why isn't that? Just because you don't see anything right now doesn't mean your angels, your spirit, doesn't mean there aren't conversations happening behind closed doors that you're unaware of. You could be, let me use myself. There could be a company right now strategizing on which influencers to reach out to for their next campaign. I could be one of those creators. I don't know. But I have no idea because I'm, whatever. You don't know what could be happening that's not in your conscious awareness just yet. There's literally something in my eye that's like gonna drive me crazy. Hold on. Because I feel like it literally just like, it was partially annoying me. Now it's really annoying me. Oh my God. And there it is. Yep. Oh, hi, little fellow. Where'd you go? You get out of there. It's like an eyelash in the corner of my eye. Oh, That was a lot. Sorry. I want to talk about mistakes. Okay, let's talk about that. A past mistake left you financially insecure and unsure of what to do. Your current financial situation was your own doing. Accept responsibility for it. Learn from your mistakes and let it go. You will get through it. You know, also, I used to look at this card. I mean, I kind of don't focus too much on this card whenever I see it come up. But in this moment, I'm thinking, you know, while we have the opportunity to be upset about past mistakes, the mistakes needed to be made so that you could gain wisdom. If you never made the mistakes, you would never gain your own wisdom. Like eventually, because I'm just like trying to think, I'm like, it's not like you could avoid making mistakes forever by, you know, always following other people's advice and other people's, you know, words of wisdom. At some point, you have to make your own mistakes and realize, shit, that was fucked up. I don't want to do that again. You know, it's part of the plan. Basically, the mistakes are part of the design, are part of the plan, your life plan. Now, you could continue, if you don't learn from your mistakes, you will keep repeating them. So please acknowledge that as well. Counselor's coming up. That was actually the first one that came out. Counselor, it may be time for some emotional healing of your own or release the past. Careers in counseling, psychic work, or energy healing may appeal to you. Your mental or emotional troubles could be blocking your abundance. I definitely feel like you should have some sort of therapy session this month. I feel like you need it I think you need a soundboard. I think you need somebody, whether that's me or whether that's a licensed therapist, you need somebody to kind of just level set with you this month, Aquarius, because I feel like you've got a lot going on mentally. There's a lot happening mentally and emotionally that you're trying to sift through and filter, you know? Let's look at your oracle message. Emphasis on, before I do that, just emphasis on there being something great, some great connection happening by the end of June. Dream come true, 10 of Cups. So you start with the 10 of Cups, you end with the 10 of Cups, okay? Change, divine timing, good luck, good fortune, a willing attachment, maybe even a work opportunity, maybe possibly a new job, possibly. There's some sort of positive change coming in. Embrace it. But it feels to me, Aquarius, that you would be trimming back. I'm seeing like a plant, like you're trimming the dead leaves of something so that something is new, something is fresh, something is renewed in a way. Let's look at your oracle message. I don't know what it is. Even though I plucked this a couple nights ago, I don't know what it is. Contract. Interesting. Interesting because, again, remember what to avoid. We have some legal issues here. I really do think there's some legal issues. But also like the scales, the justice. 6. Let's see what this message says. I might even read the reversed. I don't know. Okay, here we go. Partnership, legal commitment. This card shows a contract in the background, ready to be signed, indicating a committed connection of some sort, a willing attachment. This union may be a business deal, the sale of a home, a new job, or even a commitment in marriage. Whatever the connection, this card is more than a casual agreement. It's usually something that requires a document that's binding, at least for the time being. The scales of justice also indicate that if a legal action is underway, it is likely to turn out in your favor. This card shines a light on potential new opportunities, so remain aware and receptive to what may be coming your way. That's really interesting. So now that makes me think about your card of the justice, what to avoid. What other cards do we have around that? I'm trying to think back. What other cards came out along with the justice? I remember what I was saying. I was like, don't get too involved. Focus on yourself. I said there could be some legal issues that you can't get too wrapped into. Just I still stand by that. Don't try to take on too much of a legal issue. Just focus on your part in it. Don't try to be Captain Save-A-Ho with everybody's situation. Focus on you in the conflict or the agreement. Or the justice could be coming up as well in a message to avoid missing out on the opportunity. I don't remember what cards came out. There is a transformation. There's a transformation, Aquarius. There is a change, a transformation happening for the better. You might be scared because you don't know exactly how it's all going to work out, but it will work out. And I do feel like if you are going to be negotiating some sort of deal, it's gonna take time to negotiate. It's not just going to be like, boom, signed, done. I hope that it is, but I don't think that's the situation. But once it is in stone, it's going to be like, okay, great. Now I'm so happy I can just focus on this. This is going to resonate in a lot of different ways for a lot of different people. I do feel like your situation is changing for the better, whatever you're going through. Let me know how this connects, Aquarius. I know I said a lot of things. I hope it's helpful. Thank you for being here as usual. I love you so much. I'll see you on the next one.